Good day, classmates, and good day, Dean Marmelo B. Abante. I'm GERBIN RENZ BAUTISTA, and I'm discussing Module 9, B2B Communications and Procurement. So, what is B2B? B2B, or business to business, is a form of transaction between businesses, such as one involving a manufacturer and a wholesaler, or a wholesaler and a retailer. Business to business refers to business that is conducted between companies rather than between a company and individual consumer. Business to business stands in contrast to business to consumer and business to government transactions. So B2B, basically in the name itself, is a transaction or between businesses. Commonly, one is the manufacturer and the one is the wholesaler, or one purchasing raw material and one processes it or delivering it to the end market. Keynotes about B2B. Business to business is a transaction or business conducted between one business and another, such as a wholesaler and a retailer, as I've mentioned before. B2B transactions tend to happen in the supply chain, where one company will purchase raw material from another to be used in the manufacturing process. Understanding B2B. Uh, B2B transactions are common in a typical supply chain, as companies purchase components and products such as other raw materials for use in the manufacturing processes. Finished product can be sold to individuals by business to consumer transaction. If the product tends to be in the end market, it will be business to consumer model. So hindi na siya business to business. Iba siyang method or iba siyang model. So here is the example, the figure 1, the chain of derived demand. So as we can see, not all of our mga shirts natin or mga damit natin comes from the cotton, but basically this example is just to show you the process. So merong isang cotton distributor and the shirt will be the end product or the end market. So uh, here, as you can see, it will be processed until maging shirt siya. Mapupunta siya sa end market or dun sa alam nating mga brands ng t-shirt ngayon, na yun yung magiging business to consumer na method or the purchase. So yung relationship between the cotton manufacturing and the uh, shirt processing or shirt manufacturing also are business to business. How the process was done. The process was derived or output of good communication. So, communication between B2B is really important. Hindi pwede yung hearsay lang or what. So, what is B2B communication? Uh, as we mentioned earlier, B2B communications is really important. In the context of 21st century, business to business refers to methods by which employees from different companies can connect with one another, such as through social media and the like. This type of communication between the employees of two or more companies is called B2B communication. So, bago ka mapunta sa B2B procurement process or B2B buying process, meron dapat magandang communication or may dapat mag-execute ng good communication. And in the 21st century, madami ng ways to communicate with other businesses like social media, emails, and the like. And now na nasa pandemic time tayo, email is for me is good as written mail or written intent. Although the others preferred tangible letters or uh, real letters because it represents the black and white na tinatawag nila sa between businesses or between the transactions. Communication is key to success to know where they are in the buying process, and sometimes we only have one shot at this. B2B communications is very important before procurement or marketing or buying to assess on what needs to be done and what phase the buyer or procurer is. It is to avoid miscommunication and out of sync. B2B communications is very important kasi dito mo dapat may assess or kung ikaw yung seller, kailangan mo ma-assess yung kausap mo on what phase they're trying to solve on their problem kung so you can bring a better solution for them. For example, you are trying to sell uh, a very complicated or very advanced in technology product or service that will cater their problem, that this will be the solution, and yung kausap mo is medyo somewhat not so technical. So you need to slow down. You need to slow down your inputs, your technicalities on the project or the service that you're trying to sell. uh, Try to put yourself in their shoes. Parang ganun po iyan. So, after the communications, after everything that has been done, uh, ang part na natin ngayon is the procurement. So, ano ba talaga yung procurement sa B2B world? B2B procurement is the entire process of sourcing the goods, materials, parts, or products you need from vendors. So basically, the name itself tells it all that procuring something, this is a process of procuring something that you need from the vendors. Example, figure 2, B2B relations between Samsung Electronics and Apple Incorporated. So as we all know, hindi din naman lingid sa kaalaman ng iba or siguro hindi pa din natin alam lahat na si Samsung and si Apple ay may B2B relationship. Why? Because of their product, of the Samsung's product, which is RAM. Alam naman nating lahat yung RAM. This is the or microchip or pag sa mga computers is this is the card needed to process data. So, yung si Samsung ay nagbebenta or nagma-manufacture ng mga RAM chips na component, one of the component ng smartphone ni iPhone. So, meron silang relationship between. Keynotes about B2B procurement. Ito yung mga dapat tandaan when processing or when papasok ka sa isang procurement process between the businesses. Who will take part in the buying process? What criteria does each person use to evaluate prospective suppliers? What level of influence does each member of the process have? What interpersonal, psychological, or other factors about the decision team might influence this buying process? How well do the individuals work together as a group? Who or makes the final decision to buy? So by the way, B2B process or business to business relationship does not cater between two. It can be two or more. Pwedeng madami kang B2B relations sa iba't ibang businesses. Like, kunwari, may kailangan ka kay business na ganito at nawala naman kay business na ganyan. So, it is not a one-way around model or one-way around process. Pwede ito sa multiple businesses. So, what is B2B procurement? Ano ba talaga yung B2B procurement na yan? B2B procurement includes problem identification or the need of recognition, solution exploration, product specification, requirements building, or the RFP or request for proposals, supplier selection, order specification, and performance evaluation or feedback. These are the steps of the B2B procurement. Number 1, problem identification and need of recognition. Kailangan mong maintindihan or kailangan mong malaman what could be the problem. So, yung recognition ng problem na yon can come from your employees, your supplier, the sales, or the competitors. For example, you have a food business. Your employees, um, napansin nila na, "Sir, parang naging mahina yung business natin, hindi tayo pinapasok ng mga tao." So, there must be a problem. Hindi natin alam kung sa food or sa what or sa whatsoever. or sa supplier or pwede din sa sales. Ikaw mismo kung ikaw yung boss, napansin mo na medyo bumababa na yung sales mo and just unlike before na hindi naman ganun dapat na from this time din and last year na gantong time din na hindi naman naging parehas. So there must be a problem or pwedeng sa competitor mo napansin mo na si company na ganto ay nagbebenta ng burger na ganto na ang daming bumibili ng burger niya na hindi mo alam kung bakit and ikaw wala kang ganong product. So that must be the problem. Yung nananalo yung competitor mo dahil wala ka nung ganong product. Number two, solution exploration or product specification. Na-identify mo na yung problem mo sa phase 1. And number two, maghahanap ka na ng mga possible solutions or kung may need pa ba ng pagbili o ng procure. Determine what product as attributes are needed. Lay out what is needed. Kailangan mong ilatag lahat ng kailangan mong product or services para ma-ease or mawala yung problem na yon. For example, meron kang computer shop, mabagal yung internet mo. So, anong kailangan mong gawin? Or kung anong kailangan bang gawin dito sa mga computers na to para bumilis. Hindi lang sa internet or sa ibang bagay pa, sa mga bagong software. So, kailangan mo na ilatag yon. Kailangan mo na ilatag yung mga kailangan mo. Like, magandang processors, magandang RAM, magandang internet connectivity, and so on. Requirements building or the RFP process. Ask for potential supplier bids. This time, maghahanap ka na ng mga potential supplier mo para dun sa solution or dun sa project na gagawin mo as you uh, analyzed on the phase 1. Build up request for proposal. Gagawa na sila sa'yo or magsasubmit sila sa'yo yung mga vendors na yon or suppliers na yon ng request nila for proposal on how to come up or with the solution dun sa problem mo. So, dito na papasok yung pag-a-analyze mo dun sa mga RFPs nila or what do you call the proposal analysis. Number 4, supplier selection or vendor negotiation. Evaluate all the suppliers vendors who applied. So, sa number 3, yun nga, nanghingi ka na sa kanila ng mga RFPs or proposals nila and you need to analyze them. So, on this step, mamimili ka na ng supplier between dun sa mga kinulate mo or dun sa mga nag-apply sa'yo. Ano nga ba yung criteria? The criteria can be the ranking, the specification, or dun sa specification na pinakamalapit dun sa kailangan mo, the reputation of the company of course, and the cost. Kung yung for example, yung cost ni ganto is kasing mas ang mahal-mahal naman pero yung cost ni ganyan ni company B is more feasible, mas realistic dun sa cost ng nauna sa'yo na almost the same output naman. So, yun na yung magiging criteria mo. That will be one of the criteria in choosing your selected supplier. So, after mo mamili ng mga supplier or nakahanap ka na ng realistic proposal, number 5 is the order specification. Choosing your supplier vendor and finalizing the product. Dito ka na mamimili, oy, ikaw na yon. Supplier A, ikaw na yon, ikaw na talaga. So, dito mo na din ipa-finalize yung mga every detail ng requirements do sa phase 3 or do sa requirements building or the RFP. By the way, the RFP is the rough draft of your solution or solution specification or your project. Dito mo na kasi ipa-finalize yung every detail. This also includes the finalization of time, kung kailan dadating, or yung target date, anong araw, amount, gaano kadami, or yung volume. Lahat yan ay kailangan mo nang i-finalize. So, tinatawag din to ng ibang mga businesses na contract building phase. dito ka naggagawa ng kontrata mo na naka-specify ng lahat ng kailangan mo dun sa seller na yon or dun sa vendor na yon para dun sa project na gagawin mo. So, pag hindi mo na ilagay sa contract yon or hindi na naisama sa contract, most probably hindi siya maisasama dun sa project na kailangan mong gawin. So, kailangan siyang ma-finalize all throughout from the RFP to the order specification or dito sa phase 5 na ito. And the last part of the process is the performance evaluation or the feedback. Evaluate the purchase as well as the vendor. What will be the criteria? On time, good product or good quality, met the desired output, and hits all the target. So, the title speaks itself, performance evaluation and feedback. Kailangan mo na magbigay ng feedback doon sa naging transaction na yon. This will help your company as well the other companies kung may re-recommend mo ba or hindi yung pinagbilan mo, yung vendor mo. Kung uulit ka pa ba sa kanila or hindi. Kung ano yung naging good side ng project and naging bad side ng project. Kung naging on time ba, naging good ba yung product, yung quality, hindi nasira, na met ba yung desired na output, nasolusyonan ba yung problema na sinasabi mo from the start, from the first one or the phase 1, and na-hit ba yung ibang target na kailangan mong ma-aim for your business or for the solution para mawala yung problem. So, final thoughts. B2B can play a great role in success of one industry. It is one of the most common practices and it can also build a good reputation in one industry in the B2B world. As I mentioned earlier, reputation of the company is very important. Pwede din siyang criteria para sa selection process ng vendors mo. Reputation is one of the criterias in the supplier selection phase or the phase 4. Though B2B services are critical to success of many industries, when considering your company's potential, do not limit yourself to one model. Business to business to consumer, or consumer to business models need to be mutually exclusive. Combining their particular strengths could generate great opportunities to your business. Let me just end this report with one of the quotations from Mr. Winston Churchill. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Thank you, Dean, and thank you, classmates, and have a good day.